There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A run for Debo here to start the drive. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. This defense for the Niners much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for them to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for them to escape the pocket and run.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Here's Lance to throw it. But the shovel pass, and it's complete. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. In search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. The center receiver in motion to the right. Now a play fake. Lance. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
And that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, have the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here's 2nd and 9.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 41. Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or 2 to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They'll begin by running here with Samuel. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Another carry for the wide receiver, Samuel.
And he'll wind up getting this to the 32, a play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose. Because maybe
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
On 1st and 10, it's Samuel.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back near the goal line. Here's Rodgers. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
A handoff for Samuel. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. The Packers at 2-0 here to begin the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd down, here's Debo.
It gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's a give to Samuel. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Debo Samuel, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. From the 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On 2nd and 9, Lance.
That's to a former Packer, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And taken down just shy of the 40. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the option, running left is Lance. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Lance. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Again, they'll throw it with Lance. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
145 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Open man is Samuel. Complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On play action. Now Rodgers. He's got a man. Complete. The 20. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Lance again here on 2nd and 10.
He's going to try and go deep again.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Working from the gun, Lance.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
This is taken at the 18. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 21-0 lead already, no need really to take any unnecessary risks. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. That time they're able to bottle him up, and he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown. Robbie Anderson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. 1 second, all that remains. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Here's Lance. Open man, Butler complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard and trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Lance to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
He's got a man complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very solid gain of 27.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. Third quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
And cycle.
And Lance again going to keep it.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
On play action, Lance.
And that is incomplete here.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Off of play action, here's Lance.
Rolling to, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. Gano's kick is good, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Taken from about the 12. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Here's Samuel.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On now is the Packers punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers
You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Shot 17. Black shot.
Back to the air on second down. It's Lance.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Here we go.
The Niners on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at third and a few inches.
From the gun, it's Lance.
He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling.
Red cycle.
Again, it's Lance.
Shark's got it, left side. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
Lance looking to throw it.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops from one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Niners on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
And Lance again going to keep it.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Desperation time here. Lance.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. 53 yards.
And the 49ers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Gano the extra point, and the lead is down to 28-10. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
From way up at the 23.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they won to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That's fielded at the 8-yard line.
Well, that one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return.
And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
In motion goes the tight end.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the night.
And the Niners have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Gano now to add the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. I think the Niners got it back. Yes, San Fran recovers. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They're in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now.
And they'll begin by running the option.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. From just shy of midfield, Lance. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. A big play there for the Niners. 52 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They were zooming past that number there.
Shotgun now for Lance.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Time definitely of the essence now. Just under a minute to play, and here we go. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, it felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2nd and 5. This is Samuel.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. To throw is Rodgers.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's going to be Samuel with a run. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown, Charles, with very little time remaining, boy, it just sucked any energy and momentum out of the other sideline.
Yeah, take an incredible comeback in the final minute to bring this one back to even. A great series there offensively. It's an opportunity to save the window shut, and they finally do it.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. He's got a man complete. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
Extra point try good by Gano. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end.
A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different, but ultimately time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short, and they hold on to win this by just one possession.
Not the fourth quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So for the Packers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.
Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing